There's a different kind of feel at the ballpark tonight. It's an international flavor. The letter W is going to be big for the Nats, and hopefully there's a curly W with Chien-Ming Wang going tonight. The Mets are good on the road. The Nationals struggling here at home. Good to have you back, buddy.
Great to be back.
FP back with us. So let's talk about Nats starters since the All-Star break. John Lannon's won a couple of games. Jason Marquis won, and that has been it.
And you remember how good they were early in the season. They carried this team the first half of this season. And I think, honestly, this goes back to the offense, because every single start these guys had in the first half of the season, because of lack of run support, they had to be perfect. What does that mean? You have intense innings every single time you go out there. You have to be perfect, and I think you're seeing a tired staff because of the lack of offense early on in the season.
Yeah, this is the time of the year when that can happen, so there's help on the way. He's here. Chien-Ming Wang, 2 different 19-win seasons with the Yankees.
Yeah, and what a great story. It's his first time back in the big league since July 4th, 2009. In 6 rehab starts, 2-1 with a 3.14 ERA. So whatever happens tonight, congratulations just to make it back to the big leagues. A lot of people didn't think he was going to pitch again.
Yeah, major shoulder procedure, and here he is. Getting some offense, the Nats are, from Ryan Zimmerman lately. That number 11 bat making some noise. Last couple of games, he's 7 for 10. Ryan sits safely now in 15 of his last 18 ball games, and over that time hitting over 350. He's up to 276. He'll be near 290, 300 before long. To jump right into the Potomac and float downstream a little bit. It is sizzling here at the ballpark. Train.com. Check it out for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Temperature fluctuating rare right around the 103 mark. Can't be any more accurate than that. Humidity, thankfully, is down in the high 20s. Wang taking his warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing Jason Bay and the Mets. Bay has seen him a couple of times, 1 for 2. He had his first 3-hit, 3 RBI game with the Mets yesterday. They're coming off a big-time sweep at Cincinnati, and the Mets are flying high with Jose Reyes leading the league in hits, batting average, and runs. Not to mention triples. What else do you want a leadoff guy to do? So Chien-Ming Wang has a tall task, FP, with a Mets club swinging the bats really well.
Yeah, they're absolutely on fire. Last time out in AAA for Wong was the 6th rehab start he had in AAA Syracuse. He worked 5 innings. He gave up 5 runs on 8 hits, walked 1, and struck out 5. He was touched up for a pair of homers, 2-seam fastball, slider, change, split. And your guess is as good as mine. We've talked to some scouts that said he hit 92 in AAA his last start, so we'll check out the movement on his sinker. We'll check out his health. He is on a 90 pitch count, according to manager Davey Johnson. The defense behind Wong tonight for the Nationals, Nick Zankiel and Worth in the outfield, Desmond and Zimmerman on the left side, Espinoza and Morse on the right side, and Wilson Ramos doing the catching.
By the way, in case you're wondering, it's 84 degrees in Taipei, Taiwan right now. Crew chief, 26-year veteran Dale Scott has the plate. Jerry Meals has had quite a week. He's at first base, C.B. Buckner at second, and Dan Isanya is at third base. Mets are 54 and 51. The Nats are struggling now at 6 games under 500. Want to make sure you don't take the whole ball club and put it on the shoulder of Chien-Ming Wang. Just have him go out, do what he does best. And he's back in the major leagues now for the first time since July 4th of 2009. He's always had that big pause to his delivery, and that 89 is outside at 706. Defeated the Mets June 28th of 09. He's 2-1 career in 3 starts against them. That's a fastball that's upstairs with Reyes showing bunt. Jose Reyes knows Chien-Ming Wang. He's 2 out of 8 career against him. And Reyes checks in, leading the National League, batting .343 with an on-base percentage of .385.
I imagine early on for Wong there's going to be some nerves. First time on the mound since July 4th, 2009. First time on a big league mound, I should say. So it might take a second for him to relax, take a deep breath. I don't care who you are or how long you played. You're always going to have those butterflies the first time out in a long time.
Not even close on those 4, and Reyes aboard. Davey Johnson's ball club scuffling, losing 5 in a row. And the Nats have lost 9 out of 12 coming out of the All-Star break.
On the other side of that is the Mets. After starting the season 5-13, they are 48-38 and playing some really good baseball. Just had their first 4-game sweep of the Cincinnati Reds in Cincinnati.
That's a strike. Justin Turner, their hitter, he's on a 9-game hitting streak, batting .278. The Mets have a bunch of guys on hitting streaks right now in the middle of their lineup, and that's perfect on the outside corner. David Wright, cleanup man, Daniel Murphy, who's next. You name it, these guys are swinging well. Reyes, short lead. He has stolen 32 bases in 38 attempts. He's holding again, and that ball gets away.
So there will be a time in this game for Chien-Ming Wang when it turns into a baseball game. Right now it's his first start in 2 years, and you can tell. You get that first inning under your belt, get back in the dugout, all of a sudden it's just another baseball game. But right now you can see it in his eyes. He's feeling it.
Count goes to 2-2. And the right-handed hitter got jammed there at running fastball in 91. Wong's career record 55-26. That's Daniel Murphy, who's hot next. Wong makes his 110th major league appearance in his 105th start. Career ERA 4.16. Won 19 games for the Yankees in 06 and 07.
And runner-up for the Cy Young in 06.
2 outs away from 200 innings in each of those seasons. Reyes backs up as that ball gets through. That was interesting. Jose Reyes, as a rule, you would go right to third base on a ball sort of hit behind you, and he just kind of watched it all the way through the infield. And he's going to talk about that with Chip Hale.
He didn't know where Ian Desmond was playing. He thought Desmond might be right behind him. You see him chasing the ball back to the bag, and the Nats catch a break. If he's breaking on that ball like he should be, he would have walked home. But what a good at-bat by Justin Turner. 2-strike approach right there, taking the ball back up the middle. Not only getting Reyes to third, getting himself a base hit on top of it. And talking to Mets people today, this is what they do. They line drive you to death. They're a scrappy bunch. They don't quit.
Haven't hit for much power this year. There's the sinker. The Mets have only 68 home runs. That's 12th in the league. They've given up nearly 40 home runs more than they've hit, and it doesn't bother them one bit. That ball driven to left. And New York on top immediately with a walk, a wild pitch, and 2 base hits. That's a 6-game hitting streak for Daniel Murphy, who's 13 for his last 21, and he's now driven in 48 runs.
You check out the sinker. Where is it? Up. And for Chien-Ming Wang to be successful, that has to be down. Probably some adrenaline, probably some nerves, probably some extra energy. And that's what you have to fight when you haven't pitched in a big league scenario in a long time, is getting that ball down in the zone.
Here's kind of a crazy number for you. The last 5 batters he's faced in Washington, D.C. have all reached base, including Ryan Zimmerman with a walk-off homer Sunday, June 18th of 2006, when the Nats beat the Yankees 3-2. Joe Torre left him in there despite some late-inning issues. And after a Marlon Anderson base hit, Ryan Zimmerman hit a 2-run walk-off to win that game. And that's the time, last time Chien-Ming Wang has appeared in a big league uniform here in our nation's capital. Over right side way, but out of play.
And he's fighting it early. Those sliders are up in the zone. They don't have a lot on them. They're spinning in there. His sinker's been up too. But as you see a lot of times with good pitchers, the first inning is the toughest. Get through that first inning, lock it in, make the adjustments, and go from there.
David Wright, as a rule, hits into a lot of double plays. 3 of them this year. He's been hurt for a while. And David Wright's 15 for 33 since coming off the DL. Target is in on 0-2. Not a bad move back fastball right there, moving the hitter back off the plate. The Mets, by the way, second in the league in hitting at 266. Just 2 clicks behind St. Louis. So they collect a lot of base hits. David Wright in the air to right center. That ball's got some carry on it, and it's off the scoreboard. Everybody can only move up 90 feet. They thought it might be caught, and the bases are loaded with nobody out on a 375-foot single. Not great base running so far in this game by the Mets.
Yeah, to say the least. And when you're talking about David Wright, one of the hottest hitters on the planet, coming in riding a 7-game hitting streak, 15 for his last 33, make it 16 for his last 42. And everything has been up so far from Chien-Ming Wang.
This should be an interesting conversation.
Well, Chien-Ming Wang speaks English, so Steve McCatty will definitely be able to get his point across right here. I think this is just a pump-me-up speech. Hey, it's been a while. We know. Just relax out here. How you feeling? You're 1 pitch away from 2 outs. Use that sinker and get us a ground ball.
Everything hard hit by the Mets here. Well, the Turner ball up the middle, not that much of a shot, but well placed in a line drive. David Wright's got some of the best opposite field power in baseball. I bet he was surprised that he didn't end up at second base and drive in a run right there.
I think he's surprised that he didn't end up at home. That ball was crushed.
Here's Pagan, and he lines one into left field. The Mets will move up 90 feet at a time again, and it's 2-0. And by the way, they're not feeling any sympathy for a former Yankee. I can guarantee you that.
And they don't care that it's his first start since July 4th, 2009 either. This is becoming like that conga line on the Bugs Bunny cartoon. A bunch of singles in a row, keep the line moving. The Mets are coming out firing tonight.
4 hits in a row now after the walk, and Jason Bay's the hitter. And he's coming off one of his best games as a Met. That's a breaking ball outside. Jason Bay hitting just 230 on the year.
Kind of a lazy sinker and a lazy slider so far. Not sharp, not quick.
Fastball has topped out at 91. That was 86.
And like I said, whatever happens tonight, congratulations for making it back. All the reports we had is that he may never pitch again, and I don't think a lot of people realize how much rehab, how much time and effort is put into getting back from an injury, let alone the one that Chen-Ming Wong had. So you go to rehab, you're by yourself in Vieira, spending time alone, lifting weights, working out, trying to get back just for this moment. Probably not going the way he envisioned it right now, but you have to admire the way he's fought to get back to the big league level.
Asian media all over the ballpark this week. Quite a contingent waiting for him when he exited the dugout to go down for his warm-up tosses. 1 ball and 2 strikes, target in, and another foul ball to stay alive by Jason Bay. They were lined up along the rail in the field seats and some of the mezzanine seats when he warmed up. Partially reminiscent of Steven Strasburg's first couple of starts here last year. Needs a ground ball right at somebody. That's a slow roller for Desmond. He only has 1 play at first base, and the Mets lead 3-0 on the first out of the game.
And just putting the ball in play, that's how you drive in 100. And Jason Bay used to do that. Simple ground ball to short, get yourself an RBI and get your team up by 3.
Easily scoring Daniel Murphy in the 7th men to bat will be Lucas Duda, the right fielder. Duda hitting at 283. Here's how the Mets are right now. Their 7 hitters hitting 283. Their 8 hitter is hitting 294.
And talking to some of the Mets people today, a huge piano off their back with the trade of Carlos Beltran. Every single day as a player you come to the clubhouse and you have to talk about your star right fielder and where he's going, trade possibilities, how it'll affect the ball club when he's gone, what are your feelings on it. That becomes tiresome.
In the air, left field line. David Wright is the runner tagging at third. Here comes the throw from Lance Nix. It's cut off. Zimmerman's going to get an out of this, but the Mets are going to score 4 runs. It's a sacrifice fly double play, and the Mets with 4 in the first. for Wong. And here come the Nats, hitting .234. Starting lineup packaged by the UPS Store. We love logistics. Ryan Zimmerman, one of his best days ever, tying a career high with 4 hits. He was 4 for 5 with a double and 3 singles, and Ryan's been hitting nothing but line drives lately. You might notice Rick Ankiel is at the top of the lineup. Roger Bernardina has been optioned to AAA Syracuse. The Nats will face Dylan G, 25-year-old right-hander, 2-2 last year. This season he's 9-3 with a 3.75 ERA, and he's given the Nats virtually nothing offensively in 2 career starts against Washington. 0.61 ERA against the Nats.
And last time out received a no decision in a 5-4 loss at Florida. Through 5 innings, gave up 3 runs on 7 hits, walked 3, struck out 3 through 96 pitches. Fastball, slider, cutter, curveball, change. Change is probably his best pitch.
Ankiel goes up swinging and pops it up. Reyes out, Angel Pagan in.
I will say this. When your starting pitcher just labored through a long first inning and gave up 4 runs, and you as a leadoff hitter come up and swing at the first pitch, you better get on base.
Dylan G was 10-0 with a 2.48 ERA in his first 10 starts. Since then, he's 2-4 with a 5.45. He'll face Danny Espinosa. Nats have seen this kid a couple of times, as I mentioned, and Danny's 0 for 5 against him.
It's a hot night. Your starting pitcher labors through the first inning. You got to give him a chance to get a glass of water and rest and relax and make some adjustments mentally on the bench. As a former leadoff hitter, I always thought it was my responsibility to go up there and see some pitches to ease into the game offensively and let my teammates see the starting pitcher on that given night.
Yeah, curious at-bat by Ankiel, flying out on the first pitch. And it's 0-2 to Danny Espinosa. He's got to be in swing mode now if it's close and it's up and away. Danny just 3 for his last 35 and batting .233. Hot hitter on deck. Then he tried that backdoor breaking ball. In the air, right center. Angel Pagan will get to that one. 2 routine outs.
The defense tonight for the Mets behind probably one of the best names in baseball, Dylan G. Bay, Pagan, and Duda in the outfield. Reyes and Wright on the left side. Turner and Murphy on the right side. And Ronnie Paulino doing the catching.
Jose Reyes getting an enormous amount of attention. I mean, everybody thought a couple of weeks ago Beltran was going and Reyes might be going. Maybe Jose Reyes doesn't go anywhere right now the way this team's playing. If the Mets have any hope for the playoffs, they've got to have Jose Reyes at shortstop leading off the rest of the season.
7.5 games back of the Braves for the wild card.
They're gaining.
And think about what they've done. They've done it without K-Rod. They've done it with Beltran being traded to San Francisco. They've done it without Johan Santana. Ike Davis out for the season. Reyes has been on the DL. Jason Bay hitting .230. David Wright was out forever. Very resilient ball club to be where they are right now.
2-1 to Zimmerman. Yeah, they sent away a lot of saves. Their bullpen has only 5 saves right now. Jason Isringhausen 1. Pardon me, 4 of those, and then Beltran, of course, goes. Big money and big name players unloaded. And I know Beltran had a couple of 100 RBI seasons in New York, but he never lived up to that contract he signed after the unbelievable playoff run he had in 04.
There's just some contracts, though, Bob, that are impossible to live up to. You know, you sign those huge deals, it's based on what you did in the past. So how do you live up to something like that?
Zimmerman gets jammed, and that's a fair ball down to his Tidewater friend, David Wright. And the Nats are gone in order. They've now gone 22 innings lately without scoring against New York Mets pitching. Are down 4-0. Call Luna for up to 70% off all flooring. 877-241-LUNA. Shop smart. Shop Luna. We check in on the Tidewater guys since David Wright got off the DL and Ryan Zimmerman got hot. Just swinging the bat really well, both of them. By the way, Wright 15 for 33. We mentioned that. Zimmerman coming into that last AB 13 for 27.
I talked to Zim today before the game, and he said, you know, everybody panicking about my offense early. It's a lot like golf. No matter what you shoot on the front, you're going to get to your handicap. And he said, when it's all said and done at the end of September, I'll be right where I always am.
That would be a very good thing for a guy with a .288 career batting average. Ronnie Paulino, the hitter. Dylan G is next, and then Jose Reyes. Ching-Ming Wang is a big fella, big, strong right-handed pitcher. They list him at 6'3", 240. Right side, Michael Morse. He's got it at the tarp. Big story here in the ballpark tonight. Helicopters buzzing overhead. Debbie Taylor, it's a different kind of night.
Well, Ching-Ming Wang's start tonight is major news back in Taiwan, too. In fact, Bill Glovna of the National's Media Relations Department had to credential an additional 45 members of the international press. 3 networks in Taiwan are covering this game live, and 9 are also covering the story. And one reporter told me that Ching-Ming is a national hero. And over there, they believe that red, which is luck in the Chinese culture, is great karma because of the red hats and the W not only standing for Wang, but also for winning. Bob?
Let's hope that's all right. There's a swing and a foul tip. And it's 0-2.
So are they just picking up our feed and it's like the SAP button? It's just in Chinese and Taiwanese?
There's a button that says FP and another one with FP with a slash through it.
Well, that's the one the Nationals fans have on right now.
We don't know if they're getting our commentary or not. If they are, we welcome them and we say hello as friends from the other side of the globe. It's in the wee hours of the morning in Taipei and around Taiwan. And I'm not sure they know how hot 84 degrees are because they're metric and we're probably not. But it's a lot more comfortable there than it is here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to G, who's 2 for 30 on the year. And that's a fastball up and in. We have noticed at least 2 passes very close to the stadium by a helicopter, which normally they don't get this close. We don't know if maybe there's a camera crew in that airship or not. 2 balls and 2 strikes, but it's buzzing dangerously close to the roof of the ballpark. And there's a strikeout. And suddenly Wong is retired. 4 batters in a row. Bases empty, 2 outs here in the second.
And you look at the pitch to Dylan G right here. Just a little slider out over the plate. A little sharper than the ones he was featured in the first inning. So maybe relaxing, get into his groove, find his release point. But that was the best pitch of the night from Chien-Ming Wang.
Here's Jose Reyes, who didn't have to do anything to start the ball game with a 4-pitch walk. And a strike to Jose. Strikeout baseball documented. And Reyes slaps that one just to the right of the bag. Having a storybook season, this guy. As I mentioned, #1 in the league in batting average, hits, runs, triples, 2nd in steals, 4th in total bases, and 9th in on-base percentage. What else can a leadoff guy do who also plays shortstop, considered the most difficult position on the field? Either in New York or somewhere else, he's going to make a lot of money next year and beyond. Wong gets a grounder off him, and Danny Espinosa scampers in to grab it, and that's a good 1-2-3 inning for Chien-Ming Wang. Morse coming up. On a Friday night at the end of July, Jason Worth bobblehead. It's tomorrow night now. First 15,000 fans receive it. Presented by PNC Bank. Starting at $10, some of the tickets. Drop by Nationals.com to check it out. The Mets are here again tomorrow night. 7:05 game, and Jason Worth bobblehead.
And he's a fill-in right here. That is not accurate, but it still is cool, and I want one.
Facially, we think it's very accurate. Worth will be batting second behind Michael Morse here, bottom of the second. 11 pitches, 7 strikes for Dylan G to start his evening.
Although he has cleaned it up a little bit. He just got the little goat going right now, so maybe that is pretty accurate. Maybe that was EFP.
Rest of the division has the Phillies hosting the Pirates tonight, leading 3-0 early. And the Marlins at the Braves, just now getting started down Atlanta way.
I was talking to Michael Morse today, and look at his grip. I've never seen a grip like that ever. And maybe we'll get into it a little bit later, but just a funny grip to where he's actually got 2 fingers off the bat below, and then his top hand overlaps his bottom hand. And when you really look at it, he's got 4 fingers on the bat. He swings a 34-34, which is a very big bat, and he has 4 fingers actually on the bat. You're talking about one of the best hitters in the National League, and look at that. He's got 2 fingers off the end. I'm not going to draw because I don't want to mess it up. And then you look at the top hand, it's overlapping the bottom hand. So when you really think about it, 2 fingers on the bottom hand on the bat, 2 fingers on the top hand on the bat, pretty much that's it. Swinging a big bat, and he said it creates whip on the bottom half of the bat, and that's why he does it.
Yeah, really more of a golf grip than a baseball grip. That's a breaking ball in there to Jason Worth. Now Jason has hit .320 over his last 7 games. 1 for 5 career against Dylan G, who's working quickly here. He's been around the plate, and he's retired the first 4 Nats. Beat Washington 1-0 in a ball game earlier this year. On May 19th, a Thursday in New York, he beat Levon on a 3-hitter when he went 7 2/3, and then K-Rod got the save. Only run in that game scored by Josh Tolle in the 4th inning on a bloop hit by Jason Turner as the guys were dealing on a Thursday afternoon at Citi Field.
And Terry Collins done a nice job with the New York Mets. Like I said earlier, started the season 5-13, and all heck was breaking loose in the Big Apple. Right, the ship, they're 10 games over since.
Jason Worth gone. 5 in a row down by G to start the ball game. For every Nats walk this season, $50 to support the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater DC from Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield. This month alone, $4,100. We'll give you the season total a little bit later. Take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Lance Nix, the hitter. Lance hitting a .192 in July, but his last couple of hits have been long balls for extra bases and runs scored. And the Nats are going to go quietly through the first 2 innings. Hot weather, supposedly for hitting, but not happening for the home team. Out on hand. Quite a buzz created with the Mets in town and Chien-Ming Wang on the mound. Here's our trivia fact 1 from AT&T. 06 and 07, 3.67 ERA. And as I mentioned earlier, he won 19 games. 19 and 6 in 06, 19 and 7 And if it wasn't for that walk-off Ryan Zimmerman home run in 06, he would have been a 20-game winner.
Well, second inning much better than the first, so let's see if he continues to settle down. I think it turned into a baseball game for him in the second.
Turner, Murphy, and Wright, 2, 3, and 4 for the Mets.
And that was a good two-seam fastball. Started in the middle of the strike zone and dropped to the bottom of the strike zone, and that's where he has to be successful.
Justin Turner on a 10-game hitting streak now, 15 for his last 41. He gets jammed. That's a one-hopper to Ryan Zimmerman. Not a good throw. Michael Morse digs it out. League leaders from the place where they have red-hot slots and action-packed table games. Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, West Virginia, and there they are, the batting average leaders. Murphy is in that top three. Jose Reyes, 343, by the way, does not lead all of baseball. Adrian Gonzalez of Boston starts the weekend hitting 352. That's really something for a power hitter. But that ballpark in Boston, if a left-hander can go the other way, FP, that's conducive to winning a batting championship there.
Absolutely. You knew that when they signed him.
Wade Boggs, of course, used to slash line drives off the monster.
Then you come in and you got the pesky pole down the right field line.
Yeah.
You wear that out.
Carl Yastrzemski won a triple crown there. In fact, I think when Carney Lansford, a right-handed batter, won one as a Red Sox hitter. That was the first right-hander to win one there in many, many years. So here's Daniel Murphy, stroking the ball the other way pretty well himself, first time up with an RBI hit. And that's a perfect fastball on the corner. Let's check out the kinetic pitch track.
A little 2-0 strike from Wong. That was a good pitch, good spot.
Dale Scott, a generous strike zone in the early going. Kinetic North America provides world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers. They bring us the pitch track. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Murphy.
And as a left-hander, when you're facing a sinker ball guy, I used to love it. You know it's a two-seam fastball. You know where it's going to be. It's going to run away into the strength of your swing. You have to protect with 2 strikes in, but early in the count, you're just looking out over the plate, and that was a good sinker.
Jin-Ming Wong with his second strikeout.
All of a sudden, seeing a bunch of positive signs from Wong as he settles into this baseball game. Watch the movement right there. That's the sinker he featured with the Yankees. Down the strike zone, got a lot of ground ball outs, got a lot of swing through strikeouts. Got split action on it, going straight down.
In his heyday with New York, his ground ball to fly ball ratio was 2.73 over 1. So nearly 3 ground ball outs for every ball in the air. David Wright, he's going to go right center again. And this ball is unreachable for Jason Worth. So David Wright goes the other way both times. And he's 2 for 2. And he's on fire, 17 for his last 35.
And when you're hot, they all fall. You're giving tons of spotlights back to the dugout. You just saw right there. So off the wall his first time, blooper that time. And that's how it goes when you're locked in. They all fall.
Angel Pagan now. He had the final hit of those 4 in a row by the Mets last inning, or rather back in the first, 2 innings ago. And Wong gets a strike on the outside corner.
And don't sleep on David Wright at first base. 9 stolen bases, hasn't been caught once. You got a 4-run lead, you push the envelope on offense.
David Wright has stolen 147 bases in his career. Nice off-speed pitch. And a ground ball to Espinosa. The Nats crowd likes it. Wong has turned his evening around. Can the offense get some action going into their cup?
the inning. Now, the Nationals made a visit to Walter Reed this afternoon, and John Lannon was one of the guys who got some quality time with the Wounded Warriors.
I think it's kind of therapeutic for them to for us to come in there and kind of tell their stories, you know. I think they tell their families all the time, and they've heard it over and over, so I think it's refreshing for them to kind of tell the story to someone else, you know, fresh ears. So it's unbelievable, the stories that you hear, and, you know, it just makes you grateful for what you have, and just grateful for the opportunity you have to kind of go out there and support them.
And the Walter Reed Medical Center here in D.C. will close its doors on September 15th. The patients will move over to Bethesda, Maryland, and also to Fort Belvoir in Virginia. Bob, FP, a very moving day for the guys. And Alex Cora was also there, along with John, Bo Porter, Pat Corrales, and Jim Lett were there as well, and really putting a lot of smiles on the faces of those Warriors. And a lot of them told us they want to go back over and fight for our country.
Thank you, Debbie Taylor. Great story, great place to visit. NFP, you had a brush on your way here with some Wounded Warriors on your airplane.
Yeah, I flew through the night to JFK and then flew JFK to Dulles. And on the flight, on the JetBlue flight, was a bunch of Wounded Warriors. I gave them a couple of standing ovations on the plane. And as we were taxiing out, they had 2 fire trucks that gave the water cannon salute over the plane. I thought it was awesome. And on top of that, and it was well-deserved, there was about 20 in line for departure at JFK. They put us right to the front of the line when we were out of there. So a very cool moment, goosebump moment on the plane today. All those guys were heading back from Long Beach to Walter Reed Hospital. And I told them all on the way out, thank you, each and every one of them, as I walked off the plane.
Here's Ramos, and thanks to Debbie for the AFCEA Sideline Report. Visit AFCEA.org, the association for IT pros. Wilson Ramos in a 1-for-24 tailspin, hitting .236. Wong 0-for-14 career is next.
Well, you just hope the damage wasn't done the first inning. We talk about it all the time and how you can win a game in the first inning, lose a game in the first inning. A lot of frames to go in this baseball game, but when you got a guy like Dylan G on the mound, a professional pitcher that uses all of his pitches in any count, works both sides of the plate, got a great changeup, a great curveball. The Nationals have their work cut out for him.
Yeah, there's a 90-pitch limit for Wong as he steps up with Ramos walking. He's only got 42 pitches left on that count. And the Nationals have their first base runner as Dylan G, mowing down the lineup, commits a cardinal sin for a pitcher by walking the number 8 man. Chien-Ming Wong looking for his first major league hit. He has a sacrifice. He has struck out 8 times. And we welcome a lot of our wonderful Taiwanese fans to the ballpark. And they watch Wong just pop up into an easy out, caught by Murphy.
Chien-Ming Wong has to run on that baseball. If the Mets let that ball drop, it's a double play. Anytime you pop up a bunt as a hitter, you have to run to first base. He stood right there at home plate. And if Murphy decides to let this bounce, it's a double play. You messed up the bunt, and your instincts tell you to stay there, but if they let this ball drop, it's a double play because he didn't run.
I wonder if Ronnie Paulino was thinking that exact same thing. He tried to signal Murphy to stay off the ball because Paulino's got his face facing second base, and he knows what's going on all over the infield, but then Murphy came in and kind of cut him off.
You field that ball in a short hop, you throw it to second, and you have all day to relay it back to first for a double play.
Rick Ankiel takes a pitch after first pitch swinging first time up. Counts even 1-1.
You talk about the leadoff slot for the Nationals all year. It's been sort of a problem. I thought Roger Bernardino did a nice job, but he slumped lately. So Rick Ankiel in there tonight. And I think it's just a matter of hours and minutes before the Nats get themselves a leadoff hitter.
And the name we keep hearing is Minnesota's Denard Span. FP, I checked their stat sheet today. He's on the disabled list, so what's up with him? Do you have any idea?
He had a concussion, and he's been cleared to play. All the major league doctors cleared him to play. He went on a rehab assignment, but he missed a lot of time with the concussion. So I think there might be some concern about that. But he's been cleared to play, and once you're cleared to play on a rehab assignment, then you're okay. And that's a guy that's an everyday center fielder, would have a lot of energy to this ball club, and I think this club needs some energy right now. And I hope that trade goes through. I mean, you never know if what you read on the internet is true or what you hear around the ballpark, but I think Denard Span in a Nationals uniform would be a good thing.
He's hitting .294 with a .361 on base percentage, and he doesn't strike out much. 2-2 to Ankiel. That's up and in. Span this year, 26 strikeouts, 24 walks in 231 at bats. He has 9 doubles, 3 triples, 2 homers, 15 RBIs. It'll be interesting to watch.
One of the most attractive things, I think, is he's under control to the year 2015. So he would be here for a while. He'd be a stable presence at the top of the lineup. And if you've ever watched him play center field, he'd go get him.
3-2 with the runner moving, and Ankiel strikes out. 3 Ks by Dylan G. And the Nats hitless through 3. Again.
A lot of fans here waiting for the big guy to come back. His first start since July 4th, 2009. And it was a rough first inning. We said he was probably a little bit nervous, a lot of adrenaline going on. But then all of a sudden he settled down. So it went from his first start in a couple of years to just another baseball game. Sinker sinking, slider sliding. Last couple of innings he's been nice.
So through 3 innings, 48 pitches, 30 strikes. 2 strikeouts. 1 walk, a wild pitch. But he has retired 8 of the last 9 batters. And he'll face 6, 7, and 8 for the Mets. Bay, Duda, and Paulino. Just one more footnote on Denard Span. He's 27 years of age. And a .288 career hitter. That ball is lashed out to center. On a one-hopper, Rick Ankiel picks it up, and Jason Bay, with an RBI ground ball earlier, now has a base hit. Lucas Duda, the right fielder, hit into the sacrifice fly that turned out to be a double play. On a catch by Nix and a cutoff by Zimmerman.
Okay, so if you ground into a double play, it's not an RBI. If you had a sac fly into a double play, it is an RBI, right? Because the run scored and they got the out on the backside.
Yes, it is.
Well, that makes no sense.
In that case, the base runner messed up, not the hitter.
Well, Duda's been hot. He has a tremendous opportunity now with the absence of Carlos Beltran to establish himself as the right fielder for the Mets. Last couple of games, 3 for 7, 429 average. Had a big day yesterday in Cincinnati.
And the ball's on the inside corner.
And just look at all these guys. They're very scrappy hitters. They're not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. They're line drive hitting machines. And that's why they've won. They put the ball in play. They find ways to win baseball games. And they don't give up.
Lucas Duda, 25 years of age, a 7th-round pick back in 07 out of Fontana, California. Runner going and a bouncing ball right behind him. Espinosa knocks it down, and then he can't pick it up. Ball had some severe topspin on it, and Danny Espinosa will make an error for the 2nd consecutive day, and that'll be his 8th of the year.
And I think the mistake was that he peeked up. He did a nice job of staying in front of this ball to get the in-between hop, but then he checks the runner before the ball. And maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like he peeked up a little bit, and then he went back for the ball and just missed it. It's a good job of keeping the ball in front of you. That's a tough hop. You see him start to peek right there, and I think that's why he mishandled the ball when he went for it with his bare hand. Just a little peek is all it takes.
Ronnie Paulino, base hit right center. Worth on the charge, and now he boots the ball. Ankiel's throw saves it, and the runner's out at home. Somebody needs to start picking the ball up, and Rick Ankiel did. That arm is amazing, and he covers up a routine mistake in right field.
Well, Jason Worth should go over there and give him a big fat hug right now, because he picked up Jason Worth and he picked up the ball club just by backing up. Something simple like that. You hear it all the time in Little League at the lower levels. Back up the play. If you're standing around, you're doing something wrong. Well, Rick Ankiel was in the right spot at the right time. And we've seen the hose all year. Nice throw.
Here's the pitcher, Dylan G. They have to give Worth an error because it allowed Duda to go all the way to third base and Paulino to go to second. Paulino probably second on the throw. And then Tom Gorzolani is going to get up and throwing. The Nats have 3 lefties in their bullpen with Roger Bernardina getting sent down. And look at Dylan G get a base hit. Now it's 5-0. And the run that just scored was the batter that Espinosa missed on the ground ball. So Dylan G has his 3rd career RBI. And not a whole lot is going right for this ball club on either side of the ball right now.
Now, it's one thing to lose baseball games, but you start playing sloppy defense, that's when it gets ugly. I mean, you could not hit, and that's part of the game. You're going to have your streaks as an offense where you're good some weeks, you're bad some weeks. But defense is something that should be there every single night, all the time. And so when you compound losing with booting some balls around, that's when it starts to look really bad.
3 more hits around a pair of errors in this inning. We gave you AT&T trivia fact number 1 on Chien-Ming Wang. Wow, look at that. Fastest pitcher to 50 wins in 85 starts since Doc Gooden of the Mets had done it back in 86 and just 82. The Mets have out-hit the Nationals, and it's the 4th inning. 8-0. Top of the order, Jose Reyes again, and it's outside. 1 out in the inning thanks to the Ankiel throw to home. Reyes, and that's trouble to left. Over to get it, Lance Nix. That'll be a sacrifice fly. Line drive, and Ronnie Paulino scores.
A nice piece of hitting right there by Jose Reyes. And that's a guy that was going to be tough to double up anyways. Gets something out over the plate, stays back, and drives it the other way. Lance Nix initially thought he had to come in to get that. That ball carried all the way out to him.
Justin Turner, the hitter. All right, they're going up hacking. Turner 1 for 2 with a base hit up the middle and a ground ball to Ryan Zimmerman. Sharply hit, Espinoza. That's it. Mets pick up 2 more, and after 3.5, it's 6-0 New York. Hawaiian shirts. Look at Teddy. I've never seen him run like that. I mean, that looks like a different guy. Has he been training or what?
Whee!
But Teddy evidently would rather hula than win.
Teddy's got a boiler. I don't think he's been doing his ab workouts.
You know, all those people who begged Teddy to run Teddy run and all that. And now tonight it appears he just doesn't want to win anymore. He's been conditioned not to break the tape.
He has trouble focusing the whole race. What's up, buddy? Hello, boy. Where's your glove?
He doesn't need a glove. He's got a treat.
Bring your glove to the yard every night.
Espinoza, Zim, and Morse. And just when our dipping dots no longer the ice cream of the future. Espinoza with a strike. Dylan G, 38 pitches, 22 strikes. Ground ball right side, Turner. The easy outs continue. August 1st, Braves are here Monday night. Dollar Monday. Now the $1 tickets are already sold out, but there still will be dollar parking at certain locations. Check it out. Dollar hot dogs and dollar select items here at the ballpark. Nationals.com/specials. Ryan Zimmerman. And we remember the old days of the Mets AAA Farm Club down there in the Norfolk and Virginia Beach area called the Tidewater Tides. Well, I have been corrected by one of our emailers who posted on the Ask Bob thread. He says they call it Hampton Roads down there now, not Tidewater anymore. So we stand corrected. Take me home, Hampton Roads. Take me to first base, Ryan Zimmerman. The guy's red hot. He's now 8 for his last 12. And the Nats have their first base hit.
You see the confidence in the approach. The load with the hands are starting up high, coming back to a nice firing position. Slow with the feet, quick with the hands, making good decisions. Going back up the middle, going the other way. That's how you know you're locked in.
That'll bring in Michael Morse.
You talk about Zimmerman, you talk about Morse, where their hands are when they start. And I think it's just a relaxation thing, but you get the hands moving, you get some momentum going into the swing. So you see how he goes back right there, you get the hands going back, then they move forward quickly. Sometimes still hands are dead hands. You walk away from your hands with the lower half of your body, but with Zim, you see the big waggle, he's out in front, then he locks it into a good load position, he's ready to go. Same thing with Michael Morse. He's got the hands out over the plate. They move back, and they're ready to fire. So they're always kind of moving. They're never stopped. Just like a pitcher, he doesn't throw just from a standstill. He gets something going. As a hitter, you got to do the same. I still marvel at the grip, though. I don't know how he does it. And it's one of those things where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It works. You're hitting 309 with 17 bombs and 58 RBIs. Don't change a thing. But look at that. He's literally got two and a half fingers on the top, 2 fingers on the bottom on the baseball bat.
And that hits him right on the grip.
Well, there's no way it could hit the bat. He's got that covered.
The Nationals had another hitter who had his hand so far off the bottom of the knob, and that was Austin Kearns. Ooh, that gets Michael right on the hands. And that's our Jeep Exmo, the Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram Summer Clearance event. Right now, these offers won't last long. Hurry into your local dealership.
I mean, you get that super slow-mo going, and you could actually see the finger that the ball hit. A lot of times you just show the replay, say, oh, it got him in the hand. Did you see his pinky finger move? And keep an eye on the pinky. Watch where this ball hits. Bottom hand, pinky, watch it wiggle after the ball hits it. Ooh. I mean, we're breaking it down to the digit with that thing.
Two on, one out. Is it a threat? Is it a rally? A little bit outside to Worth. 1 ball, 1 strike. 6-0 Mets here. 8-0 in Philadelphia with the Phils hammering the Pirates. And the Marlins and Braves are scoreless 3rd inning down in Atlanta. That's the entire East in action tonight.
Well, you got to run into one to get back into this baseball game. It's that simple. And you're not going to string together 15 hits. That's not the way this offense is made up. They got a lot of feast or famine guys that go up there and hit home runs, and that's the way they get back into this game. Get some base runners on and run into one.
This year, Jason Worth has ended a lot of his swings in nearly a kneeling position.
Well, a lot has been said about him taking a lot of pitches down the middle, and sometimes as a fan it's frustrating to watch. But when you talk about his approach, when you put 3 or 4 or 5 other guys in the lineup that are similar to that, and they're all working the count, that's when it works. And Jason Worth, when he was in Philadelphia, had a bunch of guys that worked the count, got pitch counts up, and then you do some damage. But when you talk about the Nationals lineup, you got guys that strike out a lot, hit a lot of home runs, and swing early in the count. Then all of a sudden you're the only guy in the lineup that's working the pitcher consistently every single time up, going deep into the counts. It's not as effective as it is when you have 4 or 5 or 6 other guys in the lineup doing the same thing. And I was on the Oakland A's in 2001. We won 102 baseball games, and that was the philosophy there. Get one pitch in one spot and swing. And if it's not in that spot, don't swing. So when you had 6, 7, 8 guys in the lineup, getting the starting pitcher's pitch count up to 60, 70 pitches in the 4th or 5th inning every night, you see the benefits in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th game of a series where you wore out a bullpen, and that's how you put together winning series, when you got a bunch of guys that work counts.
Jason Worth shoots a base hit to right field. Zimmerman has to be held by Bo Porter. You're down by 6 runs. Right fielder Duda already had the ball, and Lance Nix will bat with the bases loaded.
A nice piece of hitting with 2 strikes by Jason Worth. Now you need base runners right now. You got a guy in Lance Nix with 14 home runs on deck, so 2-strike approach. Keep it short, keep it simple. Take yourself a single. And now you're looking for the big blow from Lance Nix. The instant 4 runs, you got yourself a baseball game.
Mets have the entire infield and their pitching coach gathered on the mound. Dan Worthen is done. And here comes Lance Nix, who grounded out to second base first time up. Nationals have hit 94 home runs this year, 8th in the National League. And Nix hits a double play ball that's going to take the life right out of this inning, unless the Mets make a mistake. They do, and it costs them 2 runs. How about that for a break?
How about the slide by Jason Worth into second base? Just bought the team 2 runs.
Zimmerman and Morse both scoring thanks to Worth forcing a really bad throw.
I mean, you see a 4-6-3 double play and something little like that. You get yourself a single, you go into second base hard, now you got yourself a ball game. Watch Jason Worth right here. You think this guy doesn't play hard every night? He might not have the numbers he wants, but that's how you play the game. You go get somebody on a double play, and it causes an errant throw, leads to 2 runs. That's how you play the game.
Nix does get 1 RBI because you can't assume the double play. And here's Desmond. And the Nats are on the board with a couple of runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
I'll tell you what. There's a lot of things I would still like to do, but if I had one day in a uniform one more time, it would be to do what Jason Worth just did. Just go in hard to second base and break up a double play. It doesn't take any ability at all. You come back to the bench and you're a hero. High fives everywhere. It wakes the ball club up. Something little like that can turn a game around.
Desmond 0-2 now, struck out swinging first time. Jose Reyes with his 12th error of the year. Mets have only made 70. They're a solid defensive ball club. Not quite as highly rated statistically as the Nats. And Desmond strikes out again. But an aggressive play by Jason Worth gets the Nats 2 runs in the 4th. And help you achieve your financial goals. PNC for the achiever in you.
Miss that guy.
Our friend Brian Bixler, 24 games since his send down to Syracuse and hitting over 300, the extra base hits. Look at the on-base percentage. Driving in 6 runs, good for him.
Well, there's 2 ways you can handle it when you get sent back to AAA. You can go down there and sulk and mope, or you can do what Bixler's doing and put some numbers up to where if any kind of need occurs at the major league level, you're the guy that comes up, and that is a great job by Brian Bixler to keep his head up and go down there and do something.
Alex Cora on a double switch comes into play shortstop. He'll bat 9th. And the new pitcher is Tom Gorzolani, ironically, who lost his rotation spot, at least for tonight, to Chien-Ming Wang. You just get the feeling, though, the Nationals will not have 8 relievers in the bullpen very long. Burnett, Detweiler, and Gorzolani from the left side. Matthews, Coffey, Rodriguez, Clippard, and Storin right-handed. Gorzolani against Daniel Murphy, who hits one out of play to the left side. 5th inning underway. The count's 1-1.
Well, it's up to Tom Gorzolani to eat up some innings right here and keep this game right where it's at. All of a sudden, a 6-run deficit is a 4-run deficit, and there's a lot of baseball left to be played.
Michael Morse right behind that ground ball. That'll bring up 2 for 2, David Wright. They've taken away that error on Jason Worth back in the 4th. Evidently now ruling that both runners moved up on the throw by Ankiel to the plate. Doesn't affect the runs in that inning, both unearned because of the Espinosa error, not the one made by Worth. There's a drive to right center. How well is David Wright hitting the ball the opposite way? And Ankiel takes one away from him right up against the scoreboard. 2 outs. David Wright hits the ball the opposite field as well as any right-handed batter in all of baseball.
Well, they say they all equal out. And for David Wright, he had a bloop single his last time up. Squares that ball up, backs it up. You see where he hits that? How late and deep he gets it. And they all equal out. Bloop single last time. Rick Ankiel with a nice play on the track that time. Yeah, you're locked in.
And the batter is Angel Pagan, 1 for 2 with an RBI hit.
Now you just go back to the 1st inning with Chien-Ming Wang. And he settled down decently after that. I thought his outing was just okay. And I think the fact that he's healthy and he comes out of this good is probably the most important thing. But when you're a ball club like the Nationals, it's tough to play uphill. A 4-run first can kill you. You are not built to come back from big deficits. And Davey Johnson always says, I like to get out early, a lot of offense early, and defend it. Well, the way this team has swung the bats all season long, you get a 4-run deficit in the 1st inning. That is a long road back. But like I said, a lot of ball game left. Those 2 runs on that double play were huge.
And with Jason Bay on deck, Gorzolani making his first relief appearance of the year. Little tapper right off the end of the bat. Michael Morse is measuring it. And a good 5th inning for Tom Gorzolani. There's been a momentum change. And here come the Nats with the bats in a hurry. from the end of the middle part of the season. And you can expect flexibility with a mid-season flex plan that won't be around much longer. Pick 3 games, get a 4th one free, and a new era ball cap. Nationals.com/cap. Pardon me, /flex for all your information. Dylan G required to throw 18 pitches in the 4th inning. 56 on the night, 34 strikes. Ramos, Cora, and Keel, bottom 5.
So there are reports right now online that B.J. Upton is not in the lineup tonight. Take that for whatever you want to take it as.
Tampa Bay at Seattle. Ramos puts a charge into that baby. It's off the base of the scoreboard. He's going to have to hustle. And that's a good sign for a guy who stands way off the plate to take that ball the other way. Now the Nats have their 3rd base hit.
And with the double switch, Alex Cora has a chance to get Wilson Ramos over to 3rd base or drive him in. And the ball just makes a different sound off this guy's bat. I know we've said it all year long, but when he barrels up a baseball, I don't know if it's his big paws or just the pop he has in his bat, it is loud when it comes off the bat of Wilson Ramos. And like we do always say, whenever he's going to right center field, that's a great sign.
Cora will advance the runner on a bouncer to Turner. 3rd base Ramos with 1 out and Ankiel coming up.
Nice piece of hitting right there. Play the game, Alex Cora.
Rick Ankiel, by the way, is having a big month of July despite going 0 for 2 tonight. In his career, he's hit .322 in July, .231 in all other months combined. So when the weather sizzles, the kid from Florida gets hot. That ball is really hit hard and unfortunately really foul.
And this is where if you're Alex Cora and you're sitting on the bench right now and you just gave up an at-bat to get the runner to 3rd with 1 out, you're hoping that Rick Ankiel can drive him in because that makes your at-bat worth it. You gave up an at-bat for the ball club. Now if you get the run in, it's worth it.
That ball falling into left, but it's going to be caught. And here comes Ramos. He will score. Ankiel gets it deep enough, and now it's a 6-3 game. Not an easy play for the left fielder, FP. Kind of angling his way away from home plate.
Now, good base running by Wilson Ramos. Nice piece of hitting by Rick Ankiel. You don't have a plus base runner at 3rd, so you're thinking if I hit a sac fly, it's got to be pretty deep. We talk about the angle that Jason Bay has right there. He had to do the pirouette spin move and throw to home. And I love the fact that Bo Porter had Wilson Ramos on the bag in the aggressive play. Just because you're down by 4 runs doesn't mean you stop playing baseball. All of a sudden, it's a 3-run baseball game, and that slide by Jason Worth woke up this ball club.
There's a Danny Espinoza, 3rd at bat of the night. Kind of interesting as we're talking about all this stuff regarding players possibly coming and going. Today, evidently, it's hit a lot of the internet that a lot of ball clubs are suddenly interested in Hunter Pence of Houston. And the Astros are waiting to be swept off their feet by clubs like Atlanta and Philadelphia to possibly make a deal for him.
Dominic Brown was offered, I heard.
And they're also talking about young Mr. Tehran, the Phillies' #1 pitching prospect. I mean, if the Astros trade that guy, they better be able to tell their fans they got something pretty big in return. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Espinoza. Danny is 0 for 3. and 3 for his last 38. Nats pick up a run, though. It's turning into a brand new ball game.
Oh, in the air, on the money. Wilson Ramos hangs on to it. Back up your teammates, kids. Good things will happen. You see the hesitation at third base by Jason Bay. That cost him. Great throw. Might have been a momentum changer. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
And that was in the 4th inning when the Mets got 3 hits, an error, and picked up a couple of unearned runs. If he doesn't do that, score might have been 8-0 by the time the Nats got on the board. So here's Bay, Duda, and Paulino, top 6. 12 pitches, 8 strikes for Gorzolani in that 1-2-3 5th inning. Looking at Tom Gorzolani's career ledger. This is his 24th career relief appearance. To go with 110 starts. And quickly it goes to 2-0. Bay with an RBI grounder and a base hit up the middle. It's near the corner and a strike call by Dale Scott. Then he works the inside corner. I was looking over your shoulder during the break there, buddy, and saw that an old Nat, Ryan Langerhans, has been sent to Arizona from Seattle. Not a guy who's going to play for you every day, but a useful left-handed bat off the bench.
I am just infatuated with this time of year. I don't know what it is. I think as a ball player.
Oh, you love gossip, admit it.
Sometimes, you know, as a ball player, it can distract you. You hear all kinds of rumors. You try to isolate yourself, but your family calls. They tell you they're hearing your name. And it's up to you to stay isolated, stay focused on the task at hand, playing baseball.
Jason Bay reaching out and hooking a ball out to the deepest part of the left center gap. So he's 2 for 3 tonight. And we know what this guy's capable of. All those big years he had with the Pirates and then on to Boston. When he's healthy, he can be a very dangerous RBI man. He drove in 119 as recently as 2 years ago for the Red Sox when he went to the All-Star game.
Yeah, 3 for 4 yesterday, a couple more hits today, so seeing the ball big.
Had a concussion July 23rd last year at Dodger Stadium, didn't play the rest of the year. And here's Lucas Duda, takes a breaking ball outside. Game flow on a Friday night brought to you by Hankook Tires. Be one with it. And new players all over baseball tonight. Edwin Jackson, obtained by St. Louis from Toronto, a pitcher the Nationals were rumored to be interested in at different points over the last year or two, starting this evening. That's a check swing and a foul tip. Ronnie Paulino. Got quite a breeze blowing in from the north here. Is there some Canadian air trying to make its way down Capitol Street here?
Do I sense a Bob's Bootleg weather coming up?
I don't know. It's been a while. I'm protesting until Mother Nature gives us a drop or two. Morse to Gorzolani, and the Mets advance their runner over to third base with one out.
If you're not going to hit home runs as a ball club, if you're going to be scrappy and that's going to be your identity, you have to do the little things on offense. And that was a nice piece of hitting by Lucas Duda with 2 strikes. Left on left. Sometimes as a lefty, it's hard to pull the ball. But to get Jason Bay to third base with 2 strikes, you can put a star by that at bat. High fives all in the Mets dugout.
Man, it is windy. We got wrappers blowing around the ballpark. FP, it's cooled off to 95 degrees here from 103.
I see Paulino stepping out. He's got some dirt in his eye, and all of a sudden the wind has picked up. Be afraid to get on your computer and give us a forecast so that we can do the opposite of what you say.
I got to think about that because of the way I've been ripped for a usually accurate forecast. You know, you miss one, and evidently for some people that's a career ender.
If usually is 2 for 10, you're right on, partner.
Even the cherry blossom trees are bent over. 1-0. Infield in. Fastball up. We have not seen any breeze around here at all lately. He offered and took a breaking ball, 3-0. Pitcher is on deck. You don't want to give away a base hit here by grooving one.
Well, he's swinging. A definite green light situation. You got to find a way to keep that runner at third.
That's on the inside corner. So you would call that a quality strike. That would not be easy to drive somewhere.
Yeah, that would not be the pitch you're swinging at 3-0. You're looking for a center cut fastball about belt high that you can drive up the middle.
Jason Bay, third base, one out. 6-3 game. Mets on top of the 6th. And Paulino kills that ball to left center. That's a bad mistake with the pitcher on deck. And the Mets lead 7-3.
I give half an RBI to Lucas Duda for getting Jason Bay to third base. That allowed Ronnie Paulino to swing at that hanging slider right there in a 3-1 count. And Gorzolani didn't want that pitch up. I'm sure he wanted that at his back knee, but he left it out over the plate. And you're right, partner, with the pitcher on deck. That hurts.
Now the Mets get back the run. The Nats just scored in the 5th. And here's G. He can swing away. Had an RBI hit last time up.
The only thing about that, with one out and the pitcher on deck, he's going to bunt Paulino over if you walk him. So then you got a second and third scenario with 2 outs and the best hitter in the National League up. I mean, so you're up against it either way if you're Tom Gorzolani. Two outs, you don't even pitch to him. You know, assuming that Dylan G comes up and bunts Paulino over, then you always got that where you can bunt it down the third baseline and follow the third baseman in. You can bunt to first to try to score the run. But the worst case scenario, you have second, third with Reyes up, so you had to pitch to Ronnie Paulino.
2-2. And a half swing for the strikeout. Corsolani's first.
And I think this is the pitch that he wanted to throw Paulino. That's the location he was looking for on the Ronnie Paulino double. He just left it out over the plate. And that was a well-executed two-strike pitch.
Jose Reyes came into this game .354 left-handed. And from the right side, Reyes is hitting .309. We always talked about how tough it is to hit 300 overall as a switch hitter. As great a career as Reyes has had, his batting average overall .286. Just goes to show how hard it is to do what Robbie Alomar did, who just went into the Hall of Fame, and Pete Rose and all the other great switch hitters. That ball out to center. It's dropping, and Keel can't get to it. And the Mets lead 8-3 as Reyes checks in with a double. Jose Reyes on for the second time and his second RBI.
He just got inside of that baseball, and Rick Ankiel had a beat on it. I thought he was going to get to this ball. Hard to tell from where we're sitting. And here's Reyes running first, and I thought he missed first base. I don't know if he got it right there on the backside, but to me, he was watching the play, and I don't know if his foot hit it. It looked like it might have caught the back edge right there, but from way up here where we're sitting, initially, I thought he missed the base clearly.
And I guess when you're down by 4, it was a calculated gamble by Ankiel to try to dive for it. They didn't really give him the run. They just gave Reyes an extra base. And his double makes it Mets 8, Nats 3.
And you don't even know if that swirling wind right now had something to do with knocking that baseball down. To me, off the bat, it looked like it was going to carry all the way out to Ankiel, and it just died.
NL East standings on that flagpole. Two balls and a strike to Justin Turner. And Worth has it. Mets pick up a couple. They lead 8-3. The red hot Ryan Zimmerman leads off. Bottom of the 6th ahead. For the Nats, but now they're down by 5. Potomac Nationals won again last night in Wilmington, 7-5. And they have a record of 49-53 on the season. Check them out at PotomacNationals.com or at Fitzner Stadium, 703-590-2311. Soriano, a couple of RBIs last night. And here's the Nats box score. RBIs in this game, really just one from Lance Nix. The other Nats run scoring on the throwing error by Jose Reyes. Here comes Zimmerman trying for another hit. He's red hot suddenly. And the batting average is up to 279.
Keep an eye on his hands. See where they start, see where they end. It's all about having momentum going into the swing. See where they start there, they go back, and they're always moving.
And a little tapper taken care of by Murphy to the pitcher. Michael Morse gets jammed. Murphy in for this one. Foul ball, 2 outs. Game flowing pretty well for the Mets right now. The game flow brought to you by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach. Nats another night with very few hits, only 3 of them. Beaten 5-2 yesterday on 7 hits. 10 hits the night before. 4 of those came in the 9th inning in the 7-5 loss. And just 3 hits in the 11-2 loss on Tuesday. No consistent offense right now. Jason Worth with a really nice swing, base hit right field last time up to set up the 2-run inning.
Ooh. That's one of the better swings he's taken all year. I know it was a foul ball. He didn't put it in play. But as a former hitting coach, everything was perfect. Missed that ball by ½ an inch. You see the balance on his backside, not out in front. He was all over that. And sometimes a hitter, you can foul the ball back and be frustrated with yourself, but deep down inside, you know you did a lot of things right. And the reason you fouled it off is you just were a hair late.
Ryan Matthews. Pitcher's spot is still 2 batters away. And the count's even. What a battle in Atlanta tonight. Clayton Hensley out of the Florida bullpen to start against Brandon Beachy, and they're scoreless 5th inning. Phillies are blowing out the Pirates 8-0. And Worth stays with 1 to foul it away, 3-2.
If they're scoreless in the 5th and Hensley's in there, that's kind of odd, huh?
Yeah, they were looking for a starter. They started the rookie Brad Hand against the Nats yesterday. And Worth's going to run down to first base with a 2-out walk.
A good at bat by Jason Worthy. You talk about this time of the year, Bob. These are the dog days. And this is when you need something to energize you as a club, whether it's yourself picking yourself up off the mat. You lose a couple of games and all of a sudden you're tired. You're mentally tired. You're physically tired. You talk about the Mets team. They're energized. They're enthused. They're playing good baseball. So that's their upper right now. But for the Nationals, when you've lost 5 in a row and you're down 8-3, these are the dog days. This is when you have to pick yourself up and find a way to motivate yourself and not get used to losing. And I don't think there's anybody in that Nationals clubhouse that is used to losing, but I've been on too many teams to where when the mental fatigue matches the physical fatigue, all of a sudden you lose 3 or 4 in a row and it becomes, I don't want to say okay, but you kind of get used to it. And this is the fight right now for the Nationals ball club. You know, they lost 5 in a row. They're not playing their best baseball all season long, and they got to fight that fight to where, hey, we're physically tired, we're mentally tired, it's the dog days. You need something to energize this ball club. Whether it's a win, whether it's getting some new players in here, picking yourself up off the mat, you got to find a way. You got to fight it. I've been on too many ball clubs where this time of year you start losing games in a row, and all of a sudden it's, okay, well, we lost another one, and okay, well, we lost another one. And I just think there's too many professionals in that clubhouse that they won't get to that point, but you have to fight it.
One pitch at a time.
One pitch at a time, one inning at a time, one at bat at a time. Do what you can do to fire up a baseball team and win a baseball game.
Lance Nix lashing one down the right field line. Duda up with it. Worth over to third. And the Nats have runners at the corners with 2 outs. That'll get Johnny Gomes up to hit for Tom Gorzolani.
And that's a guy that fires me up every single day. I love watching Lance Nix play baseball. He's old school. He's hard-nosed. He plays the game the way you're supposed to play it every single time out. I know there's been a lot of trade talk about a lot of names on this baseball team, but if I was a pennant contender right now and I need somebody to help me win a baseball game, that's a guy I'd want. And if I was the Washington Nationals, that's a guy I'd want to keep.
Mets bullpen with Ryota Igarashi.
Well, this is why they got Johnny Gomes, right? Pop off the bench. Davey Johnson since day one saying he's wanted a right-handed hitter off the bench with some pop. This is why they brought him here, and he's thinking one thing.
Hit by a pitch yesterday, 0 for 3 in his Nats debut. But 11 home runs and 31 RBIs on the year. And as we said yesterday, he was not playing every day in Cincinnati. He was sharing left field with 2 other guys. Chris Heisey and Freddie Lewis. Johnny acknowledging a very tough situation to be in. Rooting for teammates, but at the same time wanting yourself to be the guy out there.
It's weird, and if you sit on the bench and secretly root against him, the baseball gods can hear you thinking, and it comes back to haunt you.
He said at least when he platooned at Tampa Bay, one of the guys got to DH. On that wild pitch, Lance Nix will advance down to second base.
Wow, base hit right here would be huge for Johnny Gomes and the Nats. You check in with a knock and some RBIs with your new ball club. Sometimes the first hit in a new uni is the toughest one to get.
He took a 3-run swing right there, and the count's 2-1. So early in the count, going for the big one.
Yeah, why not? Count leverage 2-0. It's a guy with a lot of pop, hits a lot of taters. Let it fly.
Good idea, the breaking ball. 3-1.
Good take. That's one of those pitches as a hitter, it teases you. It looks like a strike for about 55 feet. You finally pick up the rotation. You know it's going to break off the plate, but you're so in hit mode, being hit in the count 2-1. Sometimes that's a tough pitch to lay off. It's a good take.
And a nice at bat to draw the bases loading walk. Second walk of the inning by Dylan G. That'll bring in Wilson Ramos, who took one off the scoreboard right center last time.
That was a good at-bat in a lot of ways for Johnny Gomes. When your team is struggling, as a player, you have a tendency to force the issue, to press, to try to get the job done yourself. If they're not going to give you something, don't take it. Yep. Keep the line, move it, pass it on to Wilson Ramos, who's got a walk and a double tonight. That's how you get back in ball games. When teams are struggling, guys take it upon themselves to be the man. Sometimes it's the guy behind you, and you have to let him play.
G keeps going to the outside part with that breaking ball and missing. Ramos worked him for his first walk in the third, doubled in the fifth. The base running bunch, Worth and Gomes, who walked, and Nick's in between with the base hit.
He got a 5-run lead. He's being way too fine.
Ramos hits it a ton to center, but it's right at Angel Pagan. Dancel strand 3. They've left 5. Still looking for that big 2-out hit. Pretty good job for the Mets. Just 2 earned runs so far.
Yeah, and Jason Bay started up the 6th with a double in the gap. And pitch up from Tom Gorzolani. What you don't see here is Lucas Duda moving Bay to third base. It allowed Ronnie Paulino to hit a 3-1 slider up in his eyes for another double. That brought in Bay. And Jose Reyes comes up, stays inside the baseball, a bloop single for another run. So that's where we stand. Wong plus Gorzolani equals 8.
Ryan Matthews for the 7th now. Stingy ERA of 1.77. Couple of wins, couple of losses in 20 innings. 8 strikeouts, 7 walks. The league only hitting .236 against the rookie. Daniel Murphy, David Wright, and Angel Pagan. Top 7. Fastball up, 1 ball, 1 strike. And Michael Morse will come charging for that one and step on the bag. Top of the 7th here as we hit the 9 o'clock hour in our nation's capital. Mets got 4 in the first, 2 in the 4th and the 6th. And the Nats trail 8-3. FP back with us tonight. Debbie Taylor is here. And it's 95 degrees. And the forecast calls for 80% chance of rain. Wow. I wonder when that's happening. I just heard from John Boehner and Harry Reid. Bob's Bootleg Weather has lost its federal funding and we're offline. Can't afford it, Bob. Got bigger fish to fry at the moment here. David Wright's 2 for 3.
I just like to see you get rattled when I say it.
Well, you know, there were 5 years of pretty good forecasts before you got here.
Hey, you're having a bad year. It happens to every weatherman ever.
We are shut down, ladies and gentlemen. Bases empty, 2 outs, and Angel Pagan, the hitter. Jason Worth's bobblehead for the first 15,000 through the gates tomorrow night, presented by PNC Bank. Tickets start at just $10. Go to nationals.com/tickets and check it out. Come and join us tomorrow night. By the way, on the mound, Jason Marquis and R.A. Dickey tomorrow night. And then Sunday, Jordan Zimmerman and John Neese. Matthews to Pagan. 2 quick outs here in the 7th. And it'll be a 1-2-3 7th. As Espinoza throws out Pagan. Good inning for Ryan Matthews. Cora, then the top of the order. Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating. To find a Mitsubishi dealer near you, visit MitsubishiComfort.com. Beautiful Friday evening. I hope the AC's working at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, because a couple of miles to the southeast here, it is warm. 8-3. We were impressed with the numbers the Mets were putting up coming into this series, and they have not disappointed from that respect tonight. They are a good hitting ball club suddenly.
Yeah, they're playing the game the right way. They're doing all the little things. They're getting a lot of base hits. Not the long ball for the Mets this season, just a lot of tenacity, a lot of grit. I think you're seeing it on display here tonight. And a young pitcher, Dylan G. John Neese on Sunday. We've seen him earlier this year. You know, New York a couple of months ago looked like a ball club that was kind of dead in the water, and they've got some new life now. Yeah, and when you talk to people that are associated with the ball club, they're talking about the Carlos Beltran trade being a good thing for these guys. Not because he was a bad guy. They're obviously going to miss his bat in the lineup, miss his defense in right field, but the wear and tear of having to talk about that trade for over a month, it's a big monkey off their back. All of a sudden, they're playing really good baseball the last couple of days, the last couple of weeks. People are talking about the Mets being a playoff contender all of a sudden.
89th pitch of the night from Dylan G, and it's in there. He has gone 7 or more 7 times this year. The Mets staff ERA, by the way, not that impressive coming in. 4.02 as a staff, 12th in the National League, but they've got some good young arms on the way here. Pulled the string on Alex Cora, 81 miles an hour. And the count to Alex, 1-2. He bounced out to Turner at second. His first time up, coming in on a double switch when Chien-Ming Wang did not make it beyond the 4th inning. And that's going to hit Cora. No possible way to get out of the way of that one. That'll be G's second hit batter.
It all started with a hit by pitch.
Yep. Some announcers have said that at the end of long innings. And the Nats have had 3 walks tonight, so $50 per. And that brings us to a total of $324 for over $16,000 from Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield, contributing to the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Washington, D.C. Ankiel 0 for 2, sac fly, ball 1 outside. The one thing Dylan G has done tonight, even with some men on base, he's not really slowed down his work rate very much. His fielders haven't been standing around between pitches a whole lot. Ankiel will give away a strike there, and it's 1-1. Ankiel pulls it, and it's booted by Murphy, who tried to turn and make the throw, and then he still gets Ankiel. Good job of getting over to cover by G. Down to second goes Cora.
Yeah, bang, bang play at first. I'm looking at Trent Jewett right now. He's not arguing, so that tells me that they got it right. Rick Ankiel hustling all the way. Nice job of staying with it by Daniel Murphy. Staying with the play all the way. Don't give up on the play. Get over to the baseball barehanded. Never use your glove when the ball is on the ground. Always use your bare hand. You see right here, did they get him?
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. It looks like they got it right.
You know, and it appeared on the initial play that Murphy was turning for a throw to second base before the ball, just an instant before it got there.
Yeah, a little tip for you youngsters at home. If you boot a ball, always pick it up with your bare hand. You got a better chance of picking up the baseball off the ground with your bare hand rather than your glove. Sometimes you go down there with your glove, you don't get it in there. So that was a good fundamental play by Daniel Murphy after the initial boot, staying with the play, using his bare hand, getting out.
Here's Danny Espinosa, who needs to collect a couple of hits in the worst way. First prolonged slump of his young career. 3 hits in his last 38 ABs.
Yeah, I watched the games when I was at home the last couple of days. It doesn't seem to me like he's far away. I saw some hard outs, some line outs to the outfield, a line out to left. So, yeah, he's in a slump. He's not getting hits, but his approach at the plate to me hasn't been 3 for 38 or whatever you just said. I mean, sometimes you go through a course of a season where you just have no luck. And he has been striking out, I will say that, probably more than he was when he was hot, but you go through your ups, you go through your downs. That's part of a major league season. There's nothing more frustrating as a hitter when you're getting your work done, you're coming to the ballpark early, you're squaring up baseballs in the course of a game, and you have nothing to show for it. It'll drive you nuts. But the bottom line, Bob, as you always say, nobody cares at the end of the season. You can't take, I had a lot of good at-bats to arbitration. Ask any guy in that dugout right now. They don't care what their hits look like. They'll take them any way they can. Bloopers, swinging bunts. Doesn't matter. You just want hits.
Igarashi up earlier, joined now by their only left-hander, Tim Burdick. Espinosa reaches out and pulls that ball. 2 Turner, 2 outs. And Ryan Zimmerman will have a 2-out RBI chance. The Nats are down by 5. It's getting late. And a coveted 2-out hit situation right here. Ryan is 8 for his last 13. He's hit safely now in 16 of his last 19 games, hitting just under .350 during that time. Good take, and the ball gets away. Ronnie Paulino kept his eye on the runner as he knew where the ball was.
Down by 5.
Take no chances.
You have to be high-fiving your teammates in the dugout before they even flip that ball back to the pitcher. You have to be safer than safe to go right there. That's a good move by Alex Cora.
Zimmerman, the way he's going, if he doesn't swing, it's not a strike. And the count goes 3-0. Love to see Ryan keep the inning going for Michael Morse, who's nearing 60 RBIs. And Zimmerman, what the game gives him, and that's his second time on base tonight, walking for the 21st time this year. Dylan G with his 4th pass. He's also hit 2 batters. Terry Collins wants the baseball.
A pretty nice outing from Dylan G.
6 2/3, yeah.
3 runs, 4 hits. Kept the Nationals hitters off balance all night.
One of those runs unearned. It'll be Morse and Igarashi when we come back in a moment. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Our copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. First game of the weekend series, R.A. Dickey on the mound with that knuckler tomorrow night. There's the grip. Look at the lack of rotation. Some swings and misses. And then Jason Marquis features the good sinker. He's 3-1 against the NL East this year. We'll get you going. Johnny and Ray, 6:30 Nats Extra. FP and I join you from the booth at 7 o'clock and 7:05 first pitch. And I bet you it'll be strike 1 from Marquis to Jose Reyes. Tune in tomorrow night. Find out if you can't be here at the ballpark. Ryota Igarashi. 21st appearance, 4.5 ERA, 16 innings, 20 strikeouts, 11 walks, and the league hitting .279 against him. He is hittable, but he is to a certain extent, strikeout pitcher.
Yeah, fastball, curveball, split. Split is his out pitch. They want him to throw more curveballs, but he has an exceptional split-fingered fastball.
Morris will take it. That was close, and the count's even.
And that was a split.
Michael on base with a couple of walks yesterday. His last hit, a 2-run single in that crazy 9th inning Wednesday. Trying to drive in Cora, maybe Zimmerman. That will be high in the air to center for Pagan.
Boy, did he get away with one right there. That was hanging.
The Nationals have left 7 through 7. Michael, no. Whether we're home or away, take the Nats with you. We call it MLB.tv. Every game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite device. Visit Nationals.com for more details and to order MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Another inning for Ryan Matthews, who only had to throw 8 pitches, 4 strikes in that 1-2-3 7th. He faces the suddenly hot Jason Bay, who's had 5 hits and 4 RBIs in his last 2 games. And a front door pitch. I don't know if Matthews thought he had a strike, didn't get the call.
Well, he slipped. He almost fell over. Spun a slider up there and almost got a strike out of it.
Fastball drilled to right center. Worth back, playing deep, and grabs it on the track. Early in the ball game, that's probably a double. The way Jason Bay's swinging, guys are playing him pretty deep these days. That thing was drilled. Pep Boys does everything for less, and you can call them at 1-800-PEP-BOYS.
Manny Moe and Jack.
These are some good-looking guys to work on your car right there. Lucas Duda, 0 for 2 with a sac fly. Nice crowd tonight. A lot of anticipation about Chien-Ming Wang, who went 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 2 of them unearned. 30,114 tonight. And that ball in the air to center for Rick Ankiel. Went back, tears in, and just about in full stride when he gets there. Guys take those big swings. It's hard to read a Texas leaguer.
It is, and it had a good sound to it, too. And I think as an outfielder, you read that more than the swing. A big swing from Duda right there. Rick Ankiel broke back, but it had a pretty good sound to it. So he said in his mind, he got it. I got to go get this ball. Good makeup speed right there from Rick Ankiel.
Another reason to come to the ballpark. Fill up the place, get some atmosphere going so the opposing outfielders hear all the atmosphere and all the noise and have a hard time. Guys will tell you in certain ballparks they have a hard time picking that aspect of it up.
Especially on a tweener, a pop-up between, say, second base and right field or shortstop and left field.
Espinosa can't pick that rocket. And Ronnie Paulino in the number 8 spot is 3 for 4. That'll bring in Willie Harris to hit for Igarashi. Willie's having a bit of a tough time. He's 0 for his last 12. As a pinch hitter, 6 for 37, no RBIs. And some scattered applause for the popular former Nat, who brought his game face to this ball club in this ballpark every day. Willie goes up first pitch swinging, which he often does. And that's Danny Espinosa under it. And this ball game is into the bottom of the 8th. The Nats have Worth, Nix, and the pitcher spot due up.
Doing more on defense. Let's go back to the 4th inning. Lance Nix up. Simple ground ball to second, right? Looks like an inning double play. Jason Worth going hard into second base. Makes Jose Reyes throw this ball away. That's the way you play the game. You play it hard. It led to 2 runs for the Nationals. When you're struggling on offense, you'll take them any way you can get them. So maybe it's Home Depot doing less on defense tonight because of a hard slide by Jason Worth. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Hard-throwing right-hander, 26-year-old Bobby Parnell takes over for the Mets. 32 innings this year, 38 strikeouts.
He's allowed 7 earned runs in his last 27 innings pitched. That's over 24 games. Fastball slider change from Parnell. His fastball averages 97 miles an hour.
Jason Worth, Lance Nix, and then most likely Jerry Hairston Jr. The Nats bench short tonight because the bullpen's long. 8 guys in the pen, only 4 extra men, including Jesus Flores. It appears Sean Burnett for the ninth. The Nats will be hitting for Matthews here shortly. A good scoreless 2 innings for Ryan Matthews. One and 2 to Jason Worth. Worth with a single, a walk. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Reaching, and he strikes out for the 104th time. Convergence on the pitch track.
99 miles an hour off the plate away. Emergency hack. We saw him get a single in the 4th on the same swing. The ball's almost 100 miles an hour. Tough to catch up to.
Convergence Technology and Citrix are the winning team to desktop virtualization. Call the experts 301-860-1960 or visit convergencetech.us. Lance Nix goes hacking. Foul ball called by Dan Isanya once he came back to earth. Athletic move by the third base umpire.
And Jerry Harrison Jr. on deck is going crazy. Bo Porter not saying a whole lot. Let's see if this is fair.
That appeared to be a foul ball.
And sometimes an umpire get turned around.
But see, that ball crossed over the bag on a fly, but it didn't land fair before or at the bag, it appeared.
I think Davey might be arguing that it hit the bag. I don't know if it did. I'm just trying to guess up here. He got inside this ball and was hit hard. This should show it right here. This is right down the line. See if the ball actually hits the bag at the very end. Just nicks the top half of it. That ball looked fair to me.
Looks like it did hit the bag.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, they don't review those.
Not a game changer, but it took a hit away from Lance Nix.
Hairston to bat next. And of course, on the heels of the Jerry Meals situation over the weekend with the Pirates and the Braves, the usual calls for expanded replay came out.
And he'll be behind the plate tomorrow.
2-1 to Nix.
Well, Lance Nix lives for these at-bats. You can't throw it hard enough for him. You've seen him get off speed a lot this year. First pitch curveballs, a lot of changeup sliders. But he likes the good old-fashioned country hardball. Come on with that fastball. These are the at-bats he loves.
He'll get jammed and still get a base hit, so good for him. The apparent missed call doesn't cost him a hit or an at-bat, and Lance Nix is 2 for 4 tonight.
Yeah, good job of staying with it. You get a hit taken away. Could have a tendency to pout about it or still think about it. The at-bat continues for Lance Nix, and he ends up with a hit. Get inside the baseball, drive it back up the middle. And Lance Nix can hit. It's just that simple.
That's our Dodge Ram Exmo, the Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram Summer Clearance event in progress. These great offers won't last long. Hurry into your local dealership this weekend. Jerry Hairston Jr. as a pinch hitter this year, 1 for 5. He's returned from the disabled list with a flourish, 5 for 16 with a couple of homers and 7 RBIs, including that grand slam 1 week ago tonight at Dodger Stadium. Pitch up and in, fouls it back. For the Nats, 1 on, 1 out, bottom 8. Hairston with Ramos next. Nice swing, line drive, right field. Lance Nick stopping at second base. And the Nats have put hits together back to back for the first time tonight. Second inning they've had 2 hits.
And it's something to keep an eye on tomorrow with Davey Johnson. We've seen it so far since he's been the manager of the Nationals. You come off the bench, you get a hit, you're in the lineup the next day. I mean, he's looking for offense. So if you have a guy that sits there for 7 innings, walks up to the plate and gets a base hit, and you've seen it with Alex Cora, seen it with Jerry Hairston Jr. before, you're in the lineup the next day.
Wilson has walked, doubled, and scored. And the last time up with the bases loaded in the 6th, he just scorched one to center field right at Angel Pagan.
And I think what you're seeing, too, right now from Nationals hitters is Parnell has a good fastball, but he hasn't established a slider in the strike zone. So as a hitter, you see that. You're on the bench, you're on deck, you're in the batter's box. You see the slider hasn't been thrown for a strike. You're all about dead red. You're not even thinking about off speed. And those are the at-bats that are the most fun. You throw 99, great. Just get it going early, get the head out.
Nats still a couple of base runners away from getting that tying run in there. Big breaking ball that Ramos could not reach.
And that acted more like a changeup than a slider. 89 miles an hour, didn't do a whole lot, right down the middle.
Left-hander Tim Burdick.
So it looks like the Phillies got Hunter Pence.
Wow. The rich get richer. Did they give up Dominic Brown?
Dominic Brown was not in the deal.
That's a base hit. It's hit pretty slowly, so Nick scores easily. And it's an 8-4 game on an RBI by Wilson Ramos, who's come alive with the bat tonight.
And keep the line moving. 97-mile-an-hour fastball right back up the middle.
And we'll see if they go with the lefty FP with 2 Nats lefties coming up.
Yeah, I think you have to. A nice piece of hitting by Wilson Ramos. And anytime he hits a ball the other way hard, like the double that he hit earlier in the game, you know that he's feeling it.
Bobby Parnell has been struggling for the Mets. He gives the Nats 3 hits right there with a strikeout. He's done. And their only left-hander, Tim Burdick, will come in to face Cora and then Ankiel. to Facebook.com/Massa Nationals right now. Enter for your chance to win one of 30 Nationals autograph items that Masson's giving away all month long. 30,114. Great looking crowd at the ballpark tonight. And so it'll be lefty-lefty. Burdick against Cora. And the Nats will go ahead and use Jesus Flores here. Davey Johnson is a man short with his bench. And he figures, I've only got 4 guys. Why not use them all and get a chance to get back in this game?
Yeah, Burdick has allowed 2 earned runs in his last 24 games. And guess what Alex Cora is going to see? Slider. 48% sliders from Burdick. And a fastball and a change to go with it. When you throw that many sliders, you go up there looking for one. And it looks like Davey Johnson is going to counter with Jesus Flores.
Jesus Flores is a pinch hitter, 1 for 3 overall with the Nats in 9 games. He is 3 for 22, still hunting his first RBI of the year. Question is, who plays shortstop next inning?
Yeah, command's been an issue with Burdick lately. He's got 13 walks in 25 innings. So for Jesus Flores, be patient and pick out a good one.
One out to Jesus. He lines one to center. That ball's on the ground. Hairston is held, and that's a good throw back in by a good outfielder, Angel Pagan. And Rick Ankiel will represent the tying run.
Nice
4 hits in a row.
Nice at bat, Jesus Flores. Keep the line moving. Got something out over the plate. Keep it simple. Line drive up the middle. Now the Nats are 1 swing away from a tie ball game. But this should be a diet of sliders to Rick Ankiel.
Rick Ankiel 0 for 3 with a sac fly tonight.
There's one.
Not the most patient guy to be batting in that number 1 hole. But if he gets a hold of one, things change in a hurry.
Well, if he thinks the other way right here, he'll be okay. If he tries to pull the slider, it's going to be tough.
That one well outside. Nats are down by 4. They've scored here in the 8th.
Slider, slider, slider.
That's what lefties do to lefties.
Now the question is, do you elevate a fastball and go back to the slider, or do you go right back to it and throw 4 in a row?
He has given up 2 homers to lefties this year, but they're only hitting .237 against him. And Keel with a line drive to center. That ball is on the ground. Safe at second on a near force out. It's 8-5 as Hairston scores. Angel Pagan alertly popped up and almost got himself a force at second.
And here come the fighting Nats.
Still only 1 out.
Great base running by Jesus Flores. As a runner on first base, this is a tough play. You got to go far enough to where if it drops, you can get to second base. You see where he is? 3/4 of the way. He catches that ball, he's doubled off. You're caught between a rock and a hard place as a base runner, and it's a great job by Jesus Flores getting far enough to be able to beat the force out at second base. That could be a huge play in this game.
So the Mets are deeper into their bullpen, and the Nats on the verge of being right back in this one.
Nats fans right now. Check this out. You remember against the Cardinals?
June 16th.
One swing of the bats by Danny Espinosa, and it was all she wrote. A walk-off tater, greeted like a hero at home plate. Everybody excited. So we'll call this the Happy Thoughts version of Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
A 3-run shot against Fernando Salas, bottom of the 10th in a 7-4 win that gave the Nationals a 3-game sweep. Here's DJ Carrasco, third pitcher of this inning, still only one out, and the bases are loaded.
And a fastball, cutter, curveball change from Carrasco. He likes the cutter into lefties. First pitch curveball.
Danny Espinosa 0 for 4 tonight. He's been sitting on 55 RBIs for quite some time.
And these are the at-bats where he usually locks it in.
Third base Ramos RBI hit. Second base Flores. First base Ankiel RBI hit. Contact needed. Fastball outside. And Danny just having a hard time making contact these days. 2 outs. Ryan Zimmerman is next.
And just a little 12-6 curveball from Carrasco. Danny Espinosa swings over the top. Well, Carrasco's going to have to earn it now. The hottest Nationals hitter at the plate.
Carrasco's given up 5 home runs in 30 innings this year. He's been hittable. The league hitting .288 against him. Zimmerman 1 for 3 with a walk. And a breaking ball comes right out over the plate. Sean Burnett now joined by Drew Storen, just in case Zimmerman hits one a mile and the Nats take the lead. Paulino wanted that ball up, and that's where Carrasco gave it to him.
I would be shocked if he doesn't go back to the cutter away.
Zimmerman strikes out.
He wants some help.
Well, if the home plate umpire calls it a strike, he doesn't have to appeal. The Nats are gone. 3 strikeouts in the inning, 2 of them in crucial situations. And the Nats strand 10 runners through 8 innings tonight and trail 8-5.
Yes, he did. And I think the only thing he was arguing about was just check. I just want you to check with Jerry Meals at first base. Ask him, and I'll be good with it. And I like the fact that he was up there arguing, fighting, because he just wanted somebody else to confirm it, just in case Dale Scott missed it, but he did go.
Jerry Hairston Jr. stays in to play shortstop. Sean Burnett, the new pitcher. And for the Mets, the top of the order in the 9th. Jose Reyes having a typical Reyes night. A walk, a double, a run scored, 2 RBIs.
And you were talking about him earlier, Bob, in a contract. I would take this guy in a second. I mean, he's a game changer.
There are so few like him in baseball.
And just off the top of my head, can you think of anybody more exciting in the National League to watch on a daily basis?
No.
I'm not talking just once a week if you get the game of the week. I'm talking if you watch this guy play every day.
How about 16 triples so far? He's overachieving this year. There's no doubt about that. Reyes is hitting nearly 60 points higher than his career batting average. And his on-base percentage is 60 points higher than usual. You know, some would say, yeah, it's his free agent year. Well, even when he's not putting up numbers like this, he can still devastate an opposing team.
And he plays hard every single day. Very intense baseball player. If you remember last time the Mets were in town, was it last time?
Yeah.
When you said he's lost his mind at third base and Chip Hale had to keep him in the game.
363 career stolen bases, 99 triples, and well over 200 doubles. The only thing that's bugged him last couple of years, his health. Had a thyroid condition early this year. Scar tissue surgery from a hamstring tendon situation in his right knee last year, or 2 years ago. Healthy this year and devastating other ball clubs. And he's only 28. This guy's got a lot of years left. Occasional power. 4 homers this year and 78 in his career. Jason Marquis for Davey Johnson tomorrow night. R.A. Dickey for Terry Collins. 7 o'clock, 6:30 Nats Extra. Johnny and Ray from the ballpark. Deep short. Hairston, can he do it? Yes, he can. Against one of the fastest runners in baseball. That's the only way you throw out Reyes, is if he's batting right-handed.
And that's Jerry Hairston's favorite position. Just asked him. He loves playing short. Gets to the backhand side. Strong throw across, knowing the speed of the runner. Gets rid of it quick. Nice play.
That starts the top of the 9th with Turner and Murphy coming up. Jason Isringhausen, resurrecting his career, will be going for his 5th save as a Met, at least this year. He has 297 saves. Little tapper. Michael Morse hits the lip of that grass and stays down, but he was there. 2 outs. By the way, the Nats in the 9th. Morse, Worth, and Nix. Daniel Murphy 1 for 4 with an RBI hit back in the 1st. Mets are trying to beat the Nationals for the 3rd time in 4 games here. Between the Mets, the Phillies, and the Marlins, home games in the division have been a headache this year. The Nats at home 1-2 against Atlanta, 1-5 against Florida, 1-2 against the Mets, and they've managed to split 6 with the Phillies, who will be here on the next homestand. Burnett misses 3-0. By the way, speaking of the Braves, they've taken a 4-0 lead over the Marlins late innings in Atlanta as they try to stay 5 games back of the Phillies, who are in the 8th, leading the Pirates 10-3. So you're telling me that the Phillies got Hunter Pence from Houston for 2 single-A ball plays?
They did. Class A first baseman Jonathan Singleton and the Class A pitcher Jared Kosar. So 2 A-ball guys for Hunter Pence.
That's not going to do a whole lot for the Astros season ticket sales in the near future.
Ninth inning update. The Nationals started off very quiet tonight, Ray, all of a sudden showing some life in the last couple of innings.
Yeah, getting behind early is tough. Wong, probably more adrenaline than anything as he settled down a little bit. But it's nice to see the offense at least start to rolling, getting 5 hits in a row and putting up runs in 3 different stanzas near the back end of the ballgame, John.
Looked like that 8th inning they were going to bust it open with the bases loaded, but Espy couldn't come through, and Zimmerman struck out on a check swing. So now we go to the bottom of the ninth, and let's see if Bob and FP can get it through. Get us through this 9th inning and maybe tie it up and win it in the 9th or an extra innings.
Thank you, gentlemen. As we summarize things, Jason Bay coming up big for the Mets tonight. Ronnie Paulino, 3 hits and RBI in the 8th spot. Chien-Ming Wang roughed up in the 1st inning, and after that he didn't give up an earned run and only 4 hits, exiting after 4 innings. 4th drive of the game.
We go back to the 6th inning. Ronnie Paulino, a 3-1 slider from Tom Gorzolani. Up in the zone, he was all over it. When you talk about the 4 runs that Wong gave up in the 1st inning, I think that might have been the at-bat of the game. And that's with 5 runs right now. A couple add-on runs for the Mets have been the difference.
Jason Isringhausen, you talk about Lazarus, has not had a save in the big league since 08-12 with St. Louis. He makes a comeback with the Mets, who he started with back in '95, and he's taken over the closer's role. 4 saves. Not to be forgotten, he also had 15 holds for Francisco Rodriguez. Isringhausen at the age of 38.
A fastball, cutter, curveball from Isringhausen. He's got the big 12-6 hammer he'll go to with 2 strikes. Fastball in the low 90s.
And that's what he had when he was saving 30 to 40 games every year. Early part of the previous decade. Michael Morse, a tapper to short, big hop. Reyes off the bag and requires a tag by Murphy, 1 out. Next up will be Worth and then Nix. And because the Nats couldn't get that extra run or 2 home in the 8th inning with the bases loaded, 1 out, Washington needs at least 2 base runners here before somebody pops one. Worth takes a strike. Jason 1 for 3 tonight with a single, a walk. 2 Ks. Not the big curveball, looked like the cutter. Pretty well placed to the outside corner. The Mets scored 8 runs tonight, stranding only 4 batters. The Nats have scored 5. Stranding 10. There's the big curveball. That is devastating. Jason Worth down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time. When you save a pitch until you get to a 2-strike count, you haven't seen it before. Jason Worth right there baffled at the 12-6 curveball from Jason Isringhausen. That was a good one.
He's been buckling hitters with that for a long time in this league.
Yeah, played behind him in 2001 in Oakland. He got the job done, but it was never easy. There was always runners all over the place. Heart attack saves every single time out. I don't know that I've ever played behind him where he's got the first 2 outs of the inning.
He referred to himself as a master of suspense when he was in St. Louis. Knicks, bouncing ball. Nats go quietly. Game over. And now they've lost 6 in a row and 10 of their last 13. Two hours and 55 minutes, and the Mets take game 1, 8-5. Join us tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. It'll be Jason Marquis and R.A. Dickey. This has been a presentation of Masson and from the booth at Nationals Park. So long for just a while.